What's up, guys? I know it's been a bit since my last video. I'm doing a podcast now, so there will be a link in the description for that if you're interested. I'll probably be making a lot more podcasts for recent more than like video type. I don't know. I hope you like the podcast. I will be doing these stuff periodically. I do want to get more into it. I've just been kind of busy. And kind of dreading the whole editing process and everything like that. But today we're just going to do a quick video, and that's going to be a nice Blu Ray and DVD haul. I actually have one 4K, so let's just get right into it. So the first one at the top is a 4K of Halloween 2018. I really enjoy the Halloween series. I think it's a really fun horror franchise. Kind of the original horror franchise, the original slasher, in my opinion. And this one, it was actually kind of holds a special place in my heart. This was the first one I ever saw in theaters. I remember going to see this opening night, full theater, getting to hear the iconic Halloween soundtrack and the pumpkin. I thought it was excellent. Rewatching this movie, because I think I've rewatched it once since it came out, and I definitely saw a lot more of the flaws in it. And at the time, I said like this is the second best Halloween movie, which I still kind of agree with. The Halloween franchise has some issues with consistency, I guess, and for me, the biggest one I definitely flip-flopped on was Halloween H2O. First time I watched it, I thought it was excellent. Now rewatching it, I think it's actually really borderline shitty movies. So I still watch it though, because it has a good Halloween feel to it, but certainly in quality, definitely not. Next, this is a very critically acclaimed film, known as one of the best films of all time. Have not seen it, but I really do want to see it. Obviously, Dustin Hoffman's basically breakout role. I do know, so I know it's Mrs. Robertson is from this film. I really do want to see it. I heard it has a good coming of age movies. Coming of age movies are some of my favorite. And I had this on DVD, but I saw it for Blu-ray for $6, and I was like, I'm definitely gonna get that. Next is another critically acclaimed movie that I have not seen yet, but I've heard a lot. Even friends have recommended it. And is A Long Goodbye. I think this is like a Letterboxd darling, a 70s movie. I love 70s movie. This is a Keanu release. Sometimes Keanu, I have a few of their releases. They're decent, but honestly, I would never pay full price for a Keanu release. They really just do a good job at the transfer, but they don't really put anything else on it, which to me doesn't justify the price. That's why I like Criterion and Arrow, where it's like if you're gonna spend that much money on a Blu-ray or a DVD, you're gonna get a lot packaging with it, essays, and like there's no manual or anything like that, so there's nothing that you can really get more from it other than just watching the movie and researching it yourself. So I'm excited to see this 70s movie that I have not seen. And 70s were like a brilliant time for film. Next, this place. I really love this thrift store, but I absolutely cannot stand their sticker placement. Is so stupid. Throw it on here. I guess probably resellers who are lazy probably wouldn't want this to be covered, because you can like search stuff eBay real quick with that. But why on the front? I cannot stand it, and sometimes their stickers suck. So let's hope they'll be better. But this is once. This is like an indie. I think 2007. I heard this is a really good soundtrack. I guess it's about an artist that I'm not too familiar with. I know YMS highly recommend this film, so I really do want to check this out. Would love to see it on Blu-ray, but found the DVD, which I have not seen this out in my area, so I was like, okay, I'll just get it on DVD for now, maybe get Blu-ray down the road. This is another classic kind of rom-com that I've heard of. Now watching When Harry Met Sally, I was like, I want to check this one out, see if it's any good. I really don't like Tom Hanks. I think he's a very crappy actor, who's very full of himself. For me, he became an A-lister who wanted to be a character actor. And he was kind of a mid-rate character actor at that. And so I'm curious if I'll like it. I do like Big. Big was a good movie. Haven't seen it since I was now becoming an adult, but we'll see how that one is. Last one from that store. This one I just kind of took blind by. Murder, She Said. This is like a 1950s movie. It's really old. Sorry, 1961. So really old still. You know, some of these movies can be boring as shit, and you're like, glad that didn't stand up with the test of time. But some of them are really freaking good. So it had a decent score on Letterboxd, so I was kind of like, okay, that's worth it. Usually if it's a movie I haven't seen, there's like a 3.5 on Letterboxd. I'm like, okay, I'll try this out, see what it's like, because either I'm gonna hate it or I'm gonna love it. Now we're getting into my Woody Allen buys. I like Woody Allen as a director. As a person, I don't really know. I think he has some issues there, but I don't think this whole like he's a criminal and all this stuff, to me, I don't think it's true. I just think he was kind of had a weird attraction thing. But before I cut myself too deep in a hole here, Annie Hall. This is an excellent movie. One of the funniest comedies I've ever seen. I was laughing hysterically throughout this movie. Definitely my favorite moment is when he's like he's walking on the street, he's beside himself, and he asks an old lady, he's like, what is the issue with love? Why can't I have someone love me? And she just said, love fades, and walks away. That like absolutely caught me off guard, and I was like dying. I think I had to rewatch it just to get the most out of it. So that was a really, really good film, really good comedy film. And yeah, it really did show Woody Allen's level of writing and directing. He, to me, completely achieved that. And it's quite impressive directively. Like, there's a lot of funny fourth line breaks and jokes and referencing to the audience and talking to the camera. Some really unique stuff for a comedy movie. This one I've heard really good things. This is a recommendation from Mike. This is Match Point. The only thing I'm kind of concerned about, I think this was like, I'm usually quite strict with but I buy this scene, like there were no deep scratches, but it kind of had a little bit of rough scratching. This was a rental copy, so I'm really hoping. I do have it on other I have it on my Plex server, but I have not seen it yet, and hoping it does not skip or anything like that. This one, had no idea, never heard of this one. At first, I thought this was a Curb Your Enthusiasm movie. I've not seen that whole series, but Curb Your Enthusiasm is one of the funniest comedy TV shows of all time, way better than Seinfeld. Larry David is a genius, and Jerry Seinfeld, I could say, sleeps with 17-year-olds, but this is a Woody Allen movie. All right. Okay. Let's this whatever works. No idea what it's about. Didn't even read the back of it. Only got it because, of course, Jesus is on it. Larry David, one of the funniest men of all time, easily, and a decent staff. And you know, it could be crappy like late 2000s Woody Allen movie, but it could be good. Next, we're getting into a lot of Disney. There was a good sale on Disney. I love that Disney Plus is like basically destroyed the value of all Disney movies. So it's a lot easier now to buy them, which I like, because there's a good selection of Disney movies that are part of my childhood, part of my life. I just think as a company, they're obviously easily probably one of the most evil corporations in existence and ever completed. They're about to have a monopoly on basically all art. But I also want to own the Blu-rays for the ones I liked, because they have some renaissance. They have some great films. This is actually what kicked off the renaissance. The Little Mermaid, really good movie. Remember this as a kid. Have not seen it since I was a kid. I remember my sister really loving this movie, and I was like, yeah, I gotta have this in the collection, you know, just in case I ever kind of feel like it. And yeah, it is a good movie. It's a good movie. It has a kind of lesson though, like, to basically sell yourself to get a man, kinda. I remember. Next one, this one's excellent. I did think about getting the 4K to this. It was only $20, but I'm just kind of like, Toy Story was really, really impressive for what they're able to do with 3D animation and everything that is around that. But obviously, there's a lot of animation because this is over 30 years old now. There is a lot of dated stuff in it, so I was like, I'll just get the Blu-ray to be safe, see what it's like on Blu-ray. I have Toy Story 3 on Blu-ray or in 4K, which I'm happy with. And maybe I'll upgrade it someday, but I don't really think it'd be worth the $20. And this was only $7, so. This is also the sequel. This is actually probably the best in the series. Toy Story 2 is excellent. It's a really, really good movie. The problem with number 3 is they kind of rehash, especially the villain story was the exact same. But Toy Story 2 was an excellent sequel. Like, I originally was supposed to be a direct-to-DVD sequel, but Pixar at that time was knocking it out of the park and was one of the most impressive studios working in Hollywood. Next, I really love this film. This is an excellent. It's probably my favorite of like the 90s. This and Lion King, I would say probably Lion King would have it over it, but this is really close second, and definitely for the Disney princesses, this is my favorite. Again, though, kind of not really a great lesson, kind of about like getting attracted to your capture because he's misunderstood. Maybe not the best lesson for women. Or little girls, I guess. But I do really love this film. The soundtrack is excellent. I love Gaston. He's hilarious. And yeah, this was in the ballroom scene. Was very used like CGI and stuff in it, so it's very cutting edge film in some ways. This is the last of the Sam Raimi movies. For whatever reason, I did not own Spider-Man 1, and I loved this movie as a kid. Had this on I remember just constantly watching the VHS of this film. I remember being obsessed with especially the Green Lantern mask. I know some people thought it was dumb because it was like a motorcycle helmet, basically, not really a real goblin. But I thought it was such a cool design. I love Willem Dafoe in this movie. Another Willem Dafoe movie to add to the collection. And yeah, this is a really good film. A really good film. A lot of childhood nostalgia for it, and excited to rewatch that one. Next, I don't know, some Marvel. This is the thing. I'm a hypocrite, right? I'm a hypocrite. I keep ragging and dragging on Marvel, but obviously there is some good stuff in there. And these are probably the last of the Marvel stuff I'm ever gonna get. I think I'm basically complete for all the ones I want to get, and that is Thor Ragnarok, which I have not seen since theaters. Which I remember enjoying this film, but I remember the person behind me really enjoyed this film. Maybe they were high or drunk, I don't know, but I could not believe the level of humor that they were getting from this film. Like at one point Thor jumps out of like, I don't know, like a big pile of like aliens or goblins or whatever, and they were laughing at that, like hysterically laughing. So maybe they're really, now thinking back, maybe they're really high or on shrooms or something. But that kind of ruined the experience for me, like just like a constant laugh track. But I remember it being quite fun, well written. Was a cool way that kind of like broke up the Marvel movies for me. I think didn't it lead to a TV show? Wasn't there like a World Hulk or something like that? But I kind of liked it. Didn't feel super connected to the rest of the universe. And this one too is like that. Haven't seen it since basically it came out. But I remember really enjoying it. Like, it was an excellent movie. It's probably one of their highest acclaimed movies. I don't really need to say much more about it, but I enjoyed it. Want to see it. Want to add to the collection. But that is it. That is all the movies. Thank you so much for watching.